JayRstaRaids, to another Raid Shadow Legends video, and in this one we're going to talk about the most important thing that every Raid Shadow Legends player needs to know before progressing their account. This thing alone can brick and mess up your Raid Shadow Legends account for months, and that is knowing your laws. You have to know your laws. You might be like, there's laws in Raid? Yes. Now, you don't have to obey the law, right? Just like in real life, you can break the law. But if you just follow simple laws in Raid, this game will be a lot easier when you're building your champions and beating the early to mid game content. And that is going to be your 4 laws. Okay. Now we used to only have 3, but because of how Raid has become super crazy in the end game, we have a new law, which is ridiculous. You probably don't even need to worry about this one ever, not in the next 4 to 7 years. But for people who are high spenders or very giga whales and krakens, this is the one you're going to have to worry about in the end game. But for every single early and mid game player, you're only going to have to worry about the law of 200, and that is building your champions as fast as possible up to 200 speed and up to 200 accuracy. Why is that? Because when you're progressing through the dungeons and the campaign, if you do not build accuracy, you will end up, I'll give you an example. Let's go to this stage, right? And let me bring a quick champ. I have Athel with 164, I think, accuracy. 67. Now let me go to stage 20, and you will see if I use that Athel, she's going to get what's called resisted, and you're going to lose your effect. So if you have champions that put poisons like Kale or stuff, you're going to want to build speed and accuracy for a reason. Now notice there she did not hit a weak hit. So unfortunately we died there, but I don't care. I'm going to go in back. We're going to try again and see if we can actually get that weak hit, a resisted hit, actually, personally. But we're not getting the resisted hit at all. Looks like we're actually landing it. But you will see a green thing that says resisted there, just like how I resisted them. And that is super bad. You do not want to get resisted. It will ruin runs, especially if you're trying to full auto. Now I could easily beat this stage, but I'm just showing you that green text is super important. So many times I'll get on people's accounts or I'll try to help a player that's new, and I'm like, bro, you're not building accuracy. You're not focusing accuracy and speed. Therefore, you can't even like do clan boss. You can't do dragon. You can't do nothing because every enemy just goes resist, resist, resist. Now, where can you get that accuracy? How can you follow these laws? The Great Hall is the first important place because all these affinity bonuses are going to affect all your account. So you're going to want to get accuracy on the highest affinity of champions you have. So if you have a lot of, let's say you have a lot of magic affinity champions, you're going to want to focus on that. If you have a lot of force champions, you're going to want to focus on this affinity, right? To help out the big load of champions that you are building, you'll get that much more. People will go for like crit damage and attack early on. The tutorial tries to tell you to do attack up to like level 2 or 3. Stop. Don't do it anymore. It's just a scam. It's a way to ruin your account and brick it. So you want to make sure you're focusing accuracy first, because what's the point of taking a turn in Raid Shadow Legends to land, let's say like your free champion like Loki, or you have like lately Alice was the previous one, right? What's the point of using a skill that requires accuracy? You get resisted and you just wasted a whole turn. Now some moves attack all enemies, so at least you get something in if you get resisted, at least you get an attack off, right? But some champions don't have that. They have no attack, they just do an effect. So you really want to make sure you hit that accuracy. What are some other ways that you can get accuracy? Well, you're going to want to come down to your masteries. You can come down to support masteries to get yourself extra accuracy here at pinpoint accuracy, charge focus, swarm smiter. This one will give you a little bit of extra speed or accuracy depending on the sense you're wearing, and then eagle eye will give you lots of accuracy. Now if the champion can take a lot of turns, you might want to go war master on them right here, and they don't need that much accuracy. Otherwise, you will definitely need to want to come down here and get this. This is mainly for PvP or champions that need ridiculously high accuracies. So that's going to be the law of 200 right here, right? A champion that has 200 to 200 speed. How do you get that 200 speed while also trying to get accuracy? Like I'm free to, like let's say you're free to play, or you're just a brand new player. Well, you're going to want to come down over here to, this is what everyone does for those free to play Hell Hades challenges, or anyone that's brand new and tries to make a new account. You're going to want to come over here. You're going to want to push hard, brutal, or nightmare of campaign, and you want to come to Palace of Arabia stage 6, and you want to farm for the boots and get yourself a 5 to 6 star speed boost. It doesn't matter if all your gear is common or uncommon. stats are always going to be more important than regular sets when you're early in the game because you have nothing. Then once you're able to go a little bit further, you can start working on, more sets over the stats, right? People who tell you that stats are not important, they just don't know what they're talking about. There's a few content creators out there who are basically spreading misinformation, and people follow them, and it's totally fine. They come to me, and yeah. So we have the shields here, we have the boots here, we have the chest. Chest is you're gonna want to look for accuracy here. Speed, you want speed boots. Gloves, you want to have just speed substats. And then the top 3, you want speed and accuracy substats. Once you have that, of course you're gonna be getting some lifesteal along the way for your damage dealers, right? But you need to have the main people who can put debuffs like War Maiden, people like Apo the carry, right? If you want to go fast on a rare, even my Apo, right? I'm using a speed set and I'm using Relentless, which is a nice set that you can get over time. But most of my Relentless is like blue speed, and I was able to push him to the law of 200. I was trying to get him to the law of 300, as you can see, right? Have a champion that has 300 speed and 300 accuracy. Now, Apo does not need accuracy because nothing in his kit requires it. He only needs speed and resistance. So if your champion doesn't need ac, try to flip that ac into resist instead, and keep those laws going, right? So I could push him to the law of 300, which would be a late game Apo, but right now he's just a mid game Apo, a little bit higher than 200, a little bit res around 200 as well. I could push for this. And would I need to build a late end game? No, because you're never going to use Apo end game anyways, unless we're talking about Curse City, which is super end game content. Another way that you can get accuracy on your champions is going to be, of course, blessings. But let's be honest, if you're new to the game, you're probably not going to have blessings. You would have to need a 5-star blessing to get that accuracy. But the best way to do it, I have this Dark Elhain right here, and I originally created this video and I had to redo again because I accidentally didn't have my voice recorded. So let's say I'm going to build her out as an ASDD champion, right? A champion that just needs speed and ac. Well, let's go speed on the boots. Let's go accuracy and substats. Let's see what we can find. We're looking for accuracy sets, speed sets, perception sets, pinpoint, anything that gives us extra, right? So what do I see? Ooh, first one I can see is perception. I can see some pinpoint. A 6-star speed ooh, but let's be honest, you're probably not going to have pinpoint gear early game. I think you'll probably get some free perception, maybe some free savage, or maybe some accuracy, depending on what you're farming and what you're doing. So let's try to put this boot on her. It gives us some crit rate as well, and some attack. So maybe we should start focusing on building her a little bit of damage as well. Just because a law of 200 doesn't mean you only build speed and ac. If they're a damage champion, you want to build them 200 crit damage and 100% crit rate. All right, let's go accuracy chest speed here with speed substat, and don't forget that crit rate. Now that we're pushing it, let's make sure speed is the highest. What do we have here? We have resilience, we have lethal, instinct, supersonic. Let's go with resilience. Okay, we have 18% crit. All right, let's go with that. Let's go gloves. Let's go crit damage since we're building. Oh, since we're building, we have a glove here. Whoa, with triple accurate. Wow, that is a nice. Let's go with that one. Let's go some accuracy. Do we go resilience? No, she's not really. She's trying to get more speed and ac. So let's see if we can find some perception. Okay, that one's a nice one. Has a lot of crit. Let's see if we can get some more. I don't want to get 2 more pieces of perception because it's a 2-piece, right? So 2 plus 2 is 4, and then plus 2 would be 6. I'd have to have her all in perception. Let's just get 1 more. So it'll be one of these. Nah, we'll go with this one. Even though it gives a lot of res, it has more speed. So we'll go with that one. And then on the weapon, we could definitely go resilience weapon. But you know what? There might be something else. So let me see. Sometimes this is important. You don't want to use the stats, right? You want to use. You don't want to use the sets. You want to use the stats over the stats. The sets. So let's see if we can get her to 100% crit rate. As you can see, this weapon right here is a toxic piece. It's an off piece. It doesn't. I can't put a full piece of it. I'm just using that weapon just for that extra juice of stats. And with this, I can get to 100% crit rate. But how do we get that 200% crit damage and a 200 speed? Well, there's still accessories that I can still put on my champion. So let's see if we can get an attack with attack percentage. Okay, we got this ring. I'm not going to use some extra overpowered rings because you won't have that. So I'll use that. Let's go to crit damage, amulet, and look for accuracy substat. Oh, I like this one. This has 1 accuracy for a level max level crit damage. And then let's look if we can get some attack on the banner and speed. Now I do have a mythical one here, which you might think is OP. It's actually not. If you look at wasted 2 rolls there, there's a 5-star blue can get the exact amount of speed. A 6-star blue can get 3 more speed than that. So just because this is a 6-star mythical does not mean it's good. It's actually on the level of in between a 5-star and a 6-star blue. Sag. Now I could roll this again and get lucky and land on the speed, and then it's higher than a blue. Then it's like an epic. But we're gonna put this on her because I don't want to use any other, more powerful, different types of accessories. Just regular standard banner. As you can see on the right hand side, we did get to the loft 200, right? Which was what? 200 speed. Did we get 200 accuracy? We got way more, 392. That means she has the loft 300 300 on her accuracy. Did she have 300 speed? Oh, nowhere near that. But did we get 200 accuracy, 200 crit damage and 100% crit rate? Yes, we got 205 crit damage. So a little bit, we're on the way to loft 300 crit damage, right? But not there, not anywhere near. And that's because we focused on everything. We focused on act, speed, crit rate, crit damage, and a little bit of attack. And that's why, you have a lot of spread out stats, but she's able to do a lot. She can put that decreased speed now, right? She'll be able to put that decreased speed. She'll be able to destroy a little bit of their max HP. She'll be able to get all these buffs to get more damage, stuff like that. So yeah, that's how you build your normal champions in raid when you're early to mid game, and then you can focus on when you're more mid to late. You can focus on the late one, and when you're at where I'm at right now, then you focus on things like this. And then of course, no one should focus on this unless you're super end game spender. Then you focus on that law. Let me move myself so you guys can see the laws again, for all the people who didn't know. And this works on many different accounts. Trust me, because I've been on over 400 Raid Shadow Legends accounts, plus I think it's like 430 right now. I've done takeovers. I've done this strategy over and over and over again. I built out champions in no sets at all. Colorless champions. Colorless means that they have no sets combined. They're just using all 6 pieces with no combo of anything, but it gives them the most stats possible to help us progress. Like this is an example of a colorless champion using no artifact set combinations and no special types of accessories, some masteries, maybe a little bit blessing, some books, and we're able to get stats like the loft 200 to 29 with almost the loft 300 accuracy. As you can see, she does have 100% crit rate, but not enough crit damage. Kind of short on there, as you can see, almost a loft 200 there. So as you can see, it's an old build, but I just want to showcase the difference between a champion that has lots of sets on and a champion that has no sets. But you can definitely make champions if you focus on your laws, is the most important thing. So make sure you get accuracy in your Great Hall first. Make sure you come into area bonus and getting accuracy or damage, depending on what you need. Ignore defense and crit damage on areas you need, and making sure you do everything possible to do your faction wars to get those accuracy glyphs and speed glyphs to help you reach those numbers. This is going to help out any account, no matter if it's free to play or not. Thank you, Raiders. Let me know down below what's your highest speed champion and your highest accuracy champion or your highest resistance champion. Let me know how you build them, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, Raiders.